say hi, Glenn.
Hi.
All right, so I made this little drop down here. You just saw pictures of this guy, John, and a little video clip of Greg. So a couple subscribers came by the shop today. Cool dudes. Greg wanted me to cut some plywood for his van, and then I said, dude, get the bump outs. So he's going to go get the bump outs, and I'm going to help him. And then Greg came by to buy a watch. So you see this panel here. So, okay, look at this, look at this. My foot got hooked in the bag. So this is pretty good. You can't put a lot of weight on this right here, but I did use long screws going through this plywood into the plywood behind it. So it's pretty well secure. I'm gonna make a little, thing that hinges, stays up here, and that might even serve as kind of the handle for this. You'll pull it down and then it'll flip down and support it. That'll be 3 points of contact for strength here. So I'll be able to use that as a kind of like a work surface. And I put the induction cooktop in here. I haven't used it yet. I was going to do that today, but I got distracted. We went out to, Greg took me over to Barney's for lunch, and I had a couple Guinness. And my friend Chauncey is still there, man. She's been a bartender there for decades, and she served us. It was amazing. I haven't seen her in years, and she still looks awesome, and is still the same super cool broad. At any rate, induction cooktop fits here. Right here behind me is the new solar generator that should power that, and we'll do a video on that maybe tomorrow. So I've got two solar panels, you guys recall, and I've got this cable here that will go into there, and XT90, and this is an Anderson connector. So what I'm going to be able to do is, I don't know if this is going to work. Some of you are going to right now look at the screen and say it ain't going to work. But basically what I'm trying to do is take two solar panels, daisy chain them, and then plug the Anderson connector for the one panel directly with this, supposed to be an XT90, and it is, and see if I can basically get more than a 200 watt panel to power. And I know that solar panels don't give you, if it's a 200 watt panel, you're lucky if you get 150 watts out of it, right? So with two 200 watt panels, I don't know, maybe I can get 300 watts or more coming in. I don't know, but we're going to find out. I would do it now if it wasn't after 3 o'clock and I've already got a buzz going from all the Guinness I just drank. It's the end of my day here. So this is the induction cooktop. This is like 70 bucks. It was not an expensive one. I bought it with my own money. This wasn't sent to me or anything. So we'll give that a shot. I also have a hot plate that I bought for 10 bucks used on, where did I get that? I got that at Swap Meet a couple weeks ago. So I think what I'm going to do, you've seen a lot of people do this, you basically boil water with the hot plate, boil water with the induction cooker, and look at your usage, how much power each one takes and how fast it takes. What do you think of this? I got this on eBay. This was this is the bowl that came with. And I was wondering, why does it still have the stickers on it? And I was like, what is this? Like, is this like it's like a salesman sample or something? But I needed a pot, and this might be a little tiny, but it'll work. This is one portion, right? I can do my stew in here and heat that up. Doesn't take up a lot of space, and that's exactly what I was looking for. Although something a little bit bigger than this would be nice. I think I'm going to get some of this enamelware in plates for the van. You drop them, you can't break them. They're steel, you can cook on them. And I don't think that this bowl is really worth, it's like a planter, I guess. And I thought that was funny. I might even use this in the video. As long as a magnet sticks to it, it'll work with an induction cooktop. So we'll get into this, but a hot plate just heats up, transfers heat to the pan that you're cooking in. So it's kind of inefficient. This uses a magnetic system that electricity and magnets to heat up the food but this stays relatively cool. So when you turn it off, it cools down really fast. So it makes it a lot easier for you. You're done cooking, you can put it away versus a hot plate that's going to stay hot for a lot longer. And I've seen a bunch of videos on this already, and the induction cooker seems to be a better way to go. So as you can see here, once I decide to use this, basically what happens is I plug it in to the unit down here, and I can pull this right out here. I can cook right down here. Okay, he's probably in the way. Or I could put it up here and cook. Probably keep it right here, and should be nice. I don't intend to cook in here, really. The plan is to cook out back, and you guys seen I've got a couple different ways to cook. I typically just use the 1 pound propane thing, and I screw on that stove top right on the top of that. The original idea was to cut a hole in this and have the 1 pound propane tank underneath and cook right on that, use it as a cook surface. But once I got the new Afery solar generator, it's a 2048 watt solar generator. Well, that'll power this or a lot of other electrical things. So why not use this and then not have a flame in here? When you're talking about and thinking about being able to cook in your vehicle or heat your vehicle or whatever, you want to think about getting away from a flame. This is just my own thinking. You might not agree with me. But the other thing is like, I don't want these carpets in here. These carpets are oil-based. I want to get a wool carpet for in here. I'd like to get a round one. A round wool carpet that's about maybe a 40-inch diameter would be perfect. And then I want to keep like all my bedding, same thing. I'm going to have a wool blanket. I'm going to have a down blanket, probably. And we're going to do this t-shirt comforter thing and cotton. So cotton, wool, that sort of thing, because if there's a spark or a flame, it just doesn't catch on fire. You guys might remember last year I was at a campground up at the Kern River, and somebody had like a camper thing set up in their, I think it was a Subaru or something. Caught fire while I was there. I shot a short on it. The whole car engulfed in flames because something caught fire inside of it. And there's been plenty of people that have caught their vehicles on fire because they had a flame or a spark or something sparked off. And so many of the products that people are buying and putting inside their vans is oil-based. You don't want that. You really want to avoid that. All right? So stick with cotton and wool, canvas, leather, silk, whatever, natural materials, hemp, because they won't just catch fire with a spark. Okay? That's what that's all about. So I think this looks pretty cool. You can tell me what you think, not that it matters. And that's all right. So I filmed the first part of this video that you just saw days ago, and I've been busy all week. People have come to the shop to see me, and it's been great. Actually, I sold one of my watch cuffs with one of the custom cuffs I make with a watch, and I haven't really gotten a lot of work done. I've been basically laying around, farting around, and eating too much food. I weighed myself this morning, and that was a mistake. So you guys feel free to make as much fun of me as you want. Getting fat. It was pointed out to me yesterday by the guy who bought the watch. At any rate, that's what you get here, man. It's not just van life stuff and Astro van stuff and everything else. It's me screwing with myself. So here's the fold down, and here's what I talked about. So I made this little catch here. It's a 45-degree cut. I'm going to show you some close-ups in a moment. And I got this little thing here I can turn to release it. So I can pull on this to pull it down. I just rotate this up. Okay, now I got a leg that folds down. And I've got more of this because eventually this carpet will come out and I'll need something a little bit longer. And now that is rock solid. This is so solid, it's like a jump seat now. So I could sit here. And I've put this out there before, and I don't know how stern I am about it, the idea, the concept, but you guys get it. Van life, small space. It's kind of nice when you have things going on here that can serve a multitude of tasks. Or, you know, if you're carrying something with you, it's nice if it can do more than just one thing. I mean, you're working in a tight space here. So this is something I've really wanted. Now, my head can hit here if I really try to sit super straight up. But if I'm slouching a hair, I'm golden. This is very convenient. And normally this seat here spins around. This folds down here. All right, I've got a leg for that in here somewhere. You would have thought I'd be prepped for this, but I'm not. Now this is not, obviously, a super pro thing. This is a friggin' piece of wood here, right? But it's very simple. Boom. So actually from here I can place something here and do something. Usually when I'm sitting in that seat there that's spun around, I put my laptop here and I can work on this. It's very convenient. It's not very large, obviously. All right, that's a thing. I've thought about having two parts that fold in on top of this and then open up and rest up against here and make it a little bit wider. If it doesn't come out too far, that'll be plenty strong with hardwoods just butting up against this. It's kind of like what this was doing. All right, without the leg, this stays here. Now, I wouldn't sit on that, clearly, right? Wouldn't work. But I could place some things on there. You see a little bounce because you're going to have that. But it just, I mortised these hinges in perfectly so that fits perfectly flush. That's why it sits there nice and even. So pretty good little system, I think. Not bad. But now what I can do in here is I can be working on something. I can sit right here and do something. I can write something, whatever I want. Yeah, now this comes out pretty far, so when you're sitting here, it's not the most comfortable thing. I'm not telling you it's the most comfortable thing. But if I wanted to, I could cut that back a hair. I could cut that back a little bit, like round it. I'm not going to, because I want this kind of as a work surface. I don't know everything I'm going to do in here. My next thing is I'm going to build a little shelf across here and down. Basically make a box for the induction cooker that this little unit can sit up on top of. The idea here is that even though I have the 2048 watt inverter over here with the power station that'll power everything, I like having a second generator with me. I can run the fridge off that one all the time and run the induction off this. I still have to run my tests. I have not yet done that. It'll be happening soon. I was going to maybe do that in this video, but I want to just keep this one short for you and just showing this off. Let me get some close-ups for you, and that'll be it. So, you know, don't go anywhere. It's not 100% over. I can't see what I'm doing. All right, let's get in here. Let's see if I can show this to you. So what happens is I just lift up on this. You see that? This here folds right over it. The other way. Okay. You can see that little chamfer underneath there. So now I got a grip for my fingers. Right? So that's how this pulls down. Pretty simple. I've already mortised in some little pieces of steel here, and that's for, I want to put a couple magnet catches up here probably. Okay. Yeah, it's going to need some finish on it, but it's okay. So that's it. That's the end of this video. I could have done a couple other things. I could have done that tray, that little shelf thing I need to do like I just mentioned, but you know. This here is, in case you haven't seen this before, this DeWalt, it came with this as an accessory, and I put it in here, and you'll notice up underneath here I've drilled a hole, so I could take my vacuum hose, stick it right on there, and run this and suck all the dust out of it at the same time. Pretty good, simple setup. If you have a small space, things like this just makes life easy, and it's constantly mounted, it's, you know, permanently mounted this hunk of wood here, so then I can just take it, throw it up on a shelf. Easy peasy. So that's it. Okay, have a good day. Not a lot of videos this week. As you guys know, I've been just not in a great mood. Just a bunch of crazy stuff. I'm in LA, and all the stuff that's been going on. Downtown is pretty close to me. Last night, the helicopters flying over the house, all that stuff that was happening, got real close, got into Koreatown, just a few blocks from where I lived. So it, you know, it's just a thing. I'll catch up with you guys. I'll catch you all up onto whatever the heck's going on this Sunday for the Sunday night chat. And that's it. Be good humans. I'll catch you in the next one. I am dialing this in because I'm planning an epic road trip here soon. Well, I say soon, probably won't be till maybe August or so. So I want to dial this because I'll probably be living in this thing, or out of it, you know what that means, for months. So that's why I'm putting the time into it right now. I'll catch you in the next one.